Yes, let's do it. All right. Oh, hello, beloveds. Hi, Lisa and Kim and Cheryl. Oh my God, it is the loveliest and one of the most exciting times. We are so blessed to be alive right now, and there is a lot of energy. So, the reason I'm doing okay, what in the world is this? Thank you for that. um, I was trying to watch my own live stream and it suddenly started playing the ads that apparently come before it. So to make sure that it's working. So, and who else? Kim, Nan, Cheryl, Sylvia, everybody. Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. You hear me say it a lot. We're really blessed to be alive right now. And yet it is a challenge. So we want to acknowledge that it's not like, oh, just be happy, be blessed. You know, this is a really intense and epic moment. And the reason that I love what I do is because I love what I do, and that's what I'm designed for. But for me, many years ago, it became more important that my spiritual growth, my inner mastery of emotions, my understanding of manifestation of how the world works became more important to me than what other people thought, than the money and all the rest. However, of course, I have to live. I would like more money. I would like more of the peace that the money tends to bring us. So what we're exploring in Prosperity Magic and in the mastermind that's coming and in the other courses this year is all about prosperity. And the reason is because prosperity is the state that's most natural to us. A seed will grow when it has the right environment, when it has the right peace and love and sense that its energy can go towards growth rather than to go towards survival or to fear or to worry and all of those distractions that we have. So welcome to my sacred temple. Thank you to the Infinity Healing Chamber, the gold and silver golden light of cone of light above and below us. We thank the all-seeing eye for wrapping us within us, and we thank the flower of life, the Akashic Ascension sphere, all around us. Looks like this. Oh, don't have any lights on here. That might help. When you come to retreat, we play with this here. So we're going to do a live stream every day for the next 3 days, and I hope you'll join me. Remember that as soon as I'm done, this will be live and available for you in the replay. You don't have to wait for my email, although please come on over and join nanakasha.com. And I would love for you to, oh, there's a retreat. Come to my retreat. Here we go. Come over, subscribe so that you can get all the notifications because we're doing a lot of shows this month and the energies dictate that. And I go through cycles as well, my growth, and then I go into teaching or I go into a retreat and then I come back here and we get in this flow together. So subscribe and hit notifications below as well. And please tell anyone else about this channel if you find it beneficial. And please let me know if there's other communities, there's other groups, there's other retreats that would resonate with what we talk about here. I want to meet my fellow people on the path. Then now that there's so many of us showing up, I used to feel very alone out here speaking this stuff and nobody knew the language and just had very different priorities. So remember, we're not here to become spiritual and have nothing. It's being spiritual or being loving or being aligned to your soul or being in flow has nothing to do with poverty and lack and sacrifice and obligation. And that is part of the mindset that the planet and that our bodies and that we are releasing now. So there's a lot of ugly shit coming up, right, in the world. Maybe you feel it in yourself: anger, frustration, annoyance, feeling stuck, feeling like you can't get ahead, feeling like, is this ever going to change? And we all experience that. It's happening in some different area of our lives all the time. We're in a cycle of a quest or a hero's journey. And the fun thing is that these cosmic moments come along and open these doors and bring the fair to town, right? They set up the fair and they set up the tent and they say, we're here, okay? And we're just coming through town for a little bit of time. So come to the show, come get your reading, come get your energy, come and find what you need. We're bringing you what we have. I used to live in Playa del Carmen, and there was a group of artisans from Oaxaca, which is a state on the southern end of the peninsula. And they have a lot of beautiful art and food and just all kinds of wonderful stuff. And they would come up 3 times a year, I think, and take over the whole plaza and set up their booths for about 4 or 5 days. And you could wander down, you could get food, fresh food or food to take home, herbs, medicines, natural medicines, all kinds of art, artisans and everything. So it wasn't there all the time. It came through. And then you went and said, oh, let's get that. And then sometimes it wasn't there. And that's what I want you to realize is the spiritual weather report, which is what we're doing today, namaste, is that we're looking at the cosmic energies and what they're doing. They've got their own community, right? This is next to that, and then it's far away from that, and then it's squaring that, and then it's coming alongside of that. So right now we have nothing in retrograde, which means we don't have any review energy, any looking back, reflecting, reviewing, renewing, all of that more inner energy. We have move forward energy. And now that's going to be joined or has been joined by that dragon energy. Big, magical, prosperous, exciting, opportunities galore this year. So I highly recommend that you get yourself aligned, okay? You do not want to go into this kind of growth energy. It's like going into a hurricane that could lift you up and just throw away all the shit you don't need, the old mindsets, the fear of lack, the poor girl voice that says you can't make money, who do you think you are, and all the rest of that shit that's getting in the way of you stepping into your dreams. Instead of feeling like I want them, when are they going to happen? I'm doing my work. When is this going to break through? You want to see it come to you. You have to step towards it. Spirit is a subtle realm. This is subtle, right? We see this cute little prosperity frog and we can touch it. However, that's just with 3D senses. Then we have other aspects of us that can see, quote unquote, sense, feel, receive communication. We generically call it intuitive. Doesn't matter in what form, sense, see, memories, vision, someone manifesting next to you, an angel hovering over your bed, whatever it is. There's a gazillion ways for you to communicate with the energies that are here. And your soul is sending signals all the time. So your soul is watching, everything around you is watching, your guardian dragons, your guardian angels. And that's my favorite part of all of this work, is that you have to know yourself and you have to keep mastering your emotions, and you have to take yourself, your mind back. You have to take your energy back from the rampant fears and embedded programs and beliefs, the karmic knots, the soul contracts. They live in all different areas of you. And these are the things that tell you you can't, you shouldn't, or make you not aware that right here, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, and it's gone. It's like you're coming down a freeway and you see a billboard and you're trying to tell somebody, look, 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 boom. It's not that there won't be something else, but there's doorways that we miss, you miss individually, collectively, that we don't see because we're not in the present moment. And the present moment has everything. It has the door that could open. It has the magical mentors that's already encoded into your soul blueprint. So today we're doing the spiritual weather report on the new moon, the Lunar New Year. And we're going to just touch on the dragon energy because we're saving that for Saturday, where we're going to have a big celebration and we're going to play with the dragon energy. We're going to go deeper into the meaning of magical dragon, maybe different elemental dragons. What is the dragon year? It is a green wood year. That means new growth and building, and it's masculine. So we have a lot of amazing energies. The masculine, sacred masculine, the intention of the polarity, masculine, feminine, the masculine is to build structure, to hold space for the feminine to come in and create and feel free and feel safe and to express and to expand and to have that optimal, prosperous environment we just talked about. right? So the most exciting thing is that this growth energy will come, and opportunities will be coming all over, and you want to be so careful not to, one, listen to the poor girl, the doubt, the procrastination, no, don't do it, what if the fear, and you also don't want to jump at every opportunity, gobble it up, grab it, feel desperate. No. You want to watch your energy. What is the flavor within when you say yes to something? I had an opportunity come to me a couple days ago, took the next step yesterday, took the next step today, and the door keeps opening. But I am so seasoned with this stuff that I can get excited, but I'm also a little bit jaded maybe because I'm like, not every opportunity turns out, not everything is what it seems, and its purpose for showing up in your life may not be this is the one. Like, ooh, that's a cute guy. I'm going to go see about him. I'm going to sit next to him. I'm going to come to this cafe every day. I'm going to try to have an interaction with him. And in the meantime, how many rom-coms are built on this premise? You meet the real dude of your dreams or whatever, right? So the purpose of any motivation, of any attraction, anything that comes up in you and says, yeah, I'm willing to change my priorities. I'm willing to get up early. I'm willing to change how I eat. I'm willing to put aside the money. I'm willing to step over my money fears. I'm ready to get on a plane and go out of the country. I'm ready to whatever, okay? Whatever is blocking you is your perception. It is not there, and it's going to grow. So the fear could grow, and the doubt could grow, and you crawling into the hole could grow, and what else could grow? Opportunities to see how you are stuck. The energy will respond to whatever you are being and whatever you are holding. So please get to work now. Get to play, please. Thank you. The dolphins were like, ah. I'm like, I agree. Get to playing now. Let go of the seriousness with it, of the breakdown of the world. Disconnect from what's happening outside of you. Come inside of you. Come to the classes, come to the retreats, do something to make sure that you're listening to your inner voice, that you can now notice the doors as they open and step through them without being grasping and attached. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Oh God, it didn't work. Now the world's ending and I'm a loser. Okay. Get out of that cycle. Just go, ooh, that's interesting. Next step. Ooh, that's interesting. Maybe I'll do a little research. Maybe I'll cruise around. Maybe I'll ask somebody. Maybe this person popped in my head. Let the intuitive guidance come. Now, if everything is going to grow and it's going to be new and it's going to amplify a space, it's going to create this masculine, it's going to create a divine space for you to be creative. Well, you're a creator. And most of us were never told we were a creator. We were told we didn't have the authority to make our own choices, to make our own decisions, that we couldn't talk to God directly, we couldn't talk to the earth directly, that we can't plug in. We need everybody else's opinion, a whole bunch of rules, and everyone else's way that life should be to decide what's best for us. It's not true. And this is the moment where you can take this power to take your voice back, to take your heart back, to rip away what you think are the truths and the beliefs of your life, because they aren't. So we're in a new moon. New moon energy is always what? Dark. A new moon means we can't see it. It means that the moon and the sun are eclipsed in a way, right? They're cut off. So the sun, the self, the fire, the light, the spirit fire within you, the life force within you, is cut off from you right now. You have a moment of darkness. Now, you could attract a bunch of entities. You could go around in fear and come out of the dark sick and misaligned, because that's part of the dark energy. You can't see and sense everything that's here. What else is dark energy? The womb. It's where we go to live. It's where the seeds go to be nurtured. It is a nurturing place of composting the old, letting it go, dissolving it, and nurturing the new. So the new moon is what we call seed planting. You've got about 2 weeks, right? And 2 weeks of this new moon energy means, and you've had many new moons, so you may manifest something in the next 2 weeks in some form, mental, physical, emotional, I don't know, financial. And you may have the opportunity to go into something and then it doesn't seem to be going right anymore. However, you need to stay in the present moment because your spirit got you there, got you out. We've been programmed. You have to sit here. You have to wait till you know, wait till you have the money, wait till everyone agrees, wait till this and this and this is perfect. And then one day I will actually enjoy my life and live my purpose. You got to get off your butt now. Now. So if you're being called to something, just take the next step, not from desperation and fear, like, oh my God, oh no, this is the greatest thing. And then you go to bed all blissed out and you wake up and they say, oh, never mind, it's not going to work out or something. And then you go down to the dumps of the scale. What you want to do is master the scale of consciousness. Are you plummeting into shame and guilt and craving and blame and disappointment? And are you playing in anger? I've been playing in a lot of anger lately, like annoyance and stuff. And I don't really notice it. So I'm cleansing that clearly. And I have to all day long notice of like, oh, my kitty just annoyed me. And I'm like, that is not, I'm very in the flow and like, oh, aren't you sweet? Let's find a solution. So clearly there's some shit that is being amplified already. And I'm happy that it's coming up because it's showing me that somewhere within me, there's still a belief, there's still some embedded knot of energy from some life that said, this isn't safe. You can't be prosperous. Don't grow. Don't be seen. Dragon is big energy. Okay. Big magic. Big growth, and this is opportunity for new things to grow in your life. Why not a new reality, a new role, a new self-identity, a new self-love care? Why not a new business or a new offer or a new arrangement in your room, right? What about a new way of thinking about yourself, setting boundaries or putting down some of your boundaries? This can be applied to every single aspect of your life. So I invite you to treat this as a very powerful weekend and use it as a new year in the sense that there's this nurturing dark space that you can plant your seeds and that you can nurture and you can lay in and let Gaia hold you and let the rabbit year is ending, you know, that beautiful yin mama energy hold you soft. And then you plant the seeds. And what do you want to do with your seeds? Well, you don't have to know what they are. Or you might say, oh, this is what I would really, really, really like. And I surrender to what is optimal for my highest good at this time, right? And then what happens? You go and you move into a space where there's more of you aligned with the thought. However, what you're doing is offering this into the womb, into this sacred feminine is the moon, and it often represents, in astrology too, the wishes, your wishes. To me, it's silver goddess Ray. It's divine loving energies of the sacred feminine, and it's the energies that have a power to soothe you and heal you, yet hide things from you, give you a space to be nurtured in the dark. And yet you have to remember also you're walking through the dark. So if you've been possessed by entities and energies and things like that, you know how real and powerful they can be. So many years ago, it became very important to me. And I had already learned energetically through mystery schools and with other shamans, but I had to learn from the shaman of the jungle here in the Maya, the energy here, the power, the potential, true magical power within this land filled with magical centers, pyramids, sacred centers, all the history of everybody using that energy in sacred ways to track the stars and communicate and aliens coming and everything, all the things that have happened. And the shaman and the nature and jaguar, I'm really blessed to get to live literally in that. And I had to learn that to have respect for it, for that power, for that energy. I had to learn not to touch everything, both physically and emotionally and energetically. I had to learn to communicate with the earth and with the nature spirits and with jaguar and with spirit and divine and void and all of that, because I continuously wanted to enter the caves. I wanted to go into the waters. I wanted to go into the jungle. I wanted to do the ceremonies. And it is very important that you go with someone like me, someone who is real or knows the people to bring us to do this in a right way. The reason I mention that is because learning that is one of the steps on spiritual maturity. It's not fearing things because you need protection. It's respecting things because just like the ocean, You don't turn your back on a big wave. It's going to kick your ass. It just took down my neighbor's wall. It's taken half our beach away in the last year and a half. And I've just built a seawall that it came over and drained half of my yard down through my neighbor's broken wall. So it's not the first time, because I love the ocean and I've lived near or on the ocean for quite a while now, but I have respect for it. So it heals me, and it has a medicine to feed me, and it nurtures me, and it cleanses me, and I swim in it. It brings me joy, and I walk in it. And then it can also destroy. So all energy can destroy, all energy can heal, all energy can build, all energy can be used in some form. And therefore, for you or anyone else, this big, big magic energy is here. The new moon energy is here too. So what a gift to be able to plant your seeds. And think about this today and tomorrow, because the peak of the new moon is tomorrow. That's why I decided to do the spiritual weather report today, give you all the information. And tomorrow we're going to get together and we're going to have a new moon meditation. However, it's going to be a Mayan magical medicine meditation. So my retreat coming up in March is here. There's a thing right there. And it's dolphins, where we heal with them, we communicate with them, we kiss them, touch them. They activate our third eye. They rewire our bodies. Like, we do a lot of really fun and amazing, because they give you brain bliss, but they are masters of frequency. So they work with you, recalibrate you. And over the 3 days that we spend there, there's 5 days of the retreat. It's 7 days long, coming and going. However, you have 3 of those days we're working with the dolphins for part of the day. And then we go to the caves and we have the ceremonies with our different ceremony people. So we have our goddess of the cacao, and we go have a rebirthing ceremony in a cave, and we go into the waters, and we have the music, and we have the drums, and we have the herbs, and it's like a spa, but this is for the soul. All right. And then we go into a sacred temple built on the chakras with ears and eyes and the tree of life. And my beautiful friend Christian and his Mayan wife, Aztec and Mayan, they bring their incredible ceremony crew and design an epic ceremony for us. And every time it's mind-blowing, beautiful. And he told me more than ever, he's going to include everyone in it. Last year, he had us come closer into the circle rather than watching it right around. And then he gave me the jaguar skull to hold. And it was one of my major upgrades as a jaguar medicine woman and channel for it. And then the last one we did last year, he gave us some of the jaguar pelt that was from a shaman. And so the magic that's here, and we're going to be on the equinox. So the equinox is very powerful, one of these powerful spiritual moments. So we're going to talk about how that's coming. And in April, we have an epic eclipse. And I mean epic. Okay, so the equinox is going to be cool because everybody in the US, Mexico, these areas is going to be able to see it. And we're experiencing that now. So a moon is cut off from the sun. The feminine sacred is cut off from the masculine sun, fire, or the silver goddess ray is cut off from the gold ray. And what does that give you? It gives you an opportunity to relax and think or be without yourself. Now that could be your ego self, and that could be your spirit self. So they both have power, right? They both have an aspect to them. And that self could be, I am that I am, and I know what I am, and I'm ready to share it, and I'm ready to give it. And it doesn't matter what rules I'm breaking and how upset everybody is about not, doing responsible jobs and whatever story goes on all around there. I have unplugged with that a long time ago, but I'd struggled with it for a long time to want to be good girl and a good daughter and this right and do everything right. And then you lose it all anyway and blah, blah, blah. So up and down, shed. Coco Khan says, the serpent says shed, and you will discover that you are already formed underneath. You are new, you are enlightened, you are a higher consciousness. So everything that you go through now is steps of growth, new growth into the spiritual individual that you are because of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is here. And also the other aspect of Aquarius, which makes it extremely interesting, is like the paradigm of those two things. It's about very powerful desire for uniqueness and individuality and a voice and spiritual acceptance and uniqueness of who you are. And it's also that idea that we should care about each other, that we want to have oneness, that we want to have more structure in our culture that supports people. Like, wouldn't it be nice, instead of trying to build weapons in space and all this other nonsense, that we actually went and fed everybody in our own country, made sure everybody had supportive environments, nice, loving places, medical care, and food. So a shift, in values is big. We've got Uranus in the play. We're going to go into all those energies now. Uranus is the big change agent, forcing the awakening, dragging you around right corners, sudden and disruptive, and yet added to dragon energy. That's more change. No retrogrades. That's more forward movement. All right. And we have our other aspects of Pluto going through endings and beginnings, death and rebirth, okay, coming out of the shadows. So the other aspect of the new moon is always that you are in the shadows, and it's a place for you to go deep into your fears, to accept them, to love them, to talk to them, and allow them to be released from their obligation to stay the fear that tries to hold you back, and enlist them to be part of this new growth. Tell them you have a very important job for them and that they've done a really good job. Become very, very strong, because those parts of us are very strong, aren't they? Okay. Hello, Marnie, my love. Hi, Josie and Jillian. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Sandra. Wow, so many of you. Hello, my Genevieve. Aloha, aloha. Loving the colors today. This is a butterfly. And I I used to do a retreat where we would go to the top of a pyramid at dawn on the equinox, and I would wear my jaguar thing like this. And then during the activation, while everybody had their eyes closed, I would change into my butterfly, because we had a huge metamorphosis. And then they would come back in their bodies and open their eyes, and here we are. So this was what called for us today, everybody, is our beautiful I love all of you and the beautiful energy, Mayan energy, exciting, cannot wait. I know I am so excited, because one of the things we're doing is very slowly gathering a lot of medicine from the locals that we know, whether they're Mexica, whether they're Aztec, whether they're Maya, whether they're blend, and just these, these wonderful remedies that have been in cultures and families and for so long, different philosophies. And, I don't know what will be called Mayan magic or something, but yeah, exciting to receive the full itinerary for the March retreat. So excited. I can't wait. It's going to be so incredible. It is. We will be there for the equinox, the St. Patty's Day. Yeah, we will, right? Is that March? I don't know. I never pay attention, but, yes, and I'm very excited because this time we have 2 bonus days that are optional that you can stay for, and because I'm always in a process, right? So I've moved here, and my intention was to get back to Egypt to do the retreats I used to do, and I still want to do that. It's pretty epic. However, what they did was they brought me here, and then suddenly I went, there's pyramids all around me. The shaman are showing up. I met the healing lady that was called by the dolphins to bring people, and I have that special access for us to do this healing and this kiss. And I don't, it never gets old to me. I could do it 16 times a year and it wouldn't be too old. Kissing a dolphin and the way they make you feel and the quantum leap you make. I get to, not just you guys coming, I get to make a quantum leap too in the retreats, and we all get to taste the flavors and expand and cry and love and heal together. It's just my favorite thing to do. All the sensory, all the community, all the huggies. I love hug. So butterflies have been so present with you lately. Wonderful. Well, we see butterflies all year round, but we just had a pretty epic hurricane type storm. So, however, we will probably start seeing them a lot. And I'm looking to get these butterfly bushes to put on my beach that can handle the salt air, but attract the butterflies. Every time I try to find them, nobody knows where they are, but I see them on the beach. So can't wait to snuggle the manatees and kiss the magical dolphins. It's the bestest. Isn't it the bestest? I love you too, sweetie. I love you too. This is so exciting because the equinox, by the way, is early this year. So if you are an equinox girl like me, mark 19 and 20. It's usually 2021, sometimes 22. The Maya like to do it a day later, if we're lucky, and we go to a special ceremony at a pyramid. They used to open 3 days, so they probably would be 18, 19, 20, or 19, 20, 21. But the peak is actually on the 19th, so it's in the evening. Depending where you live, it could be 19, 20. I usually think 21, so I just want to share that. However, the reason I do the retreats then, and when I gave up choosing the dates myself and handed it over to the astrology expert to tell me what's the optimal date for a natal chart for us to start every retreat, we do it intentionally at the day and the time that will stamp a certain energy in, just like a natal chart for someone being born, into the retreat. It was fascinating to me. I had to give up, well, I want it on the equinox, and it's still on the equinox. I love that. So, however, we have that energies, right? We have those energies of equality and balance. We can walk between the worlds. The portals open much easier. The transformation happens easier. There's just all kinds of wonderful things that happen with the equinox. And it's not a surprise that the ancient Maya built these temples aligned with the equinoxes. And that's when the sun appears over this or in that temple, or creates Kukulkan coming down the pyramid, so there is an opportunity for us to really harness this energy and think about what you want this year. Do you want to go on a retreat? Is there a place you want to live? Do you want to be closer to the ocean? Do you want to be closer to nature? Do you want to just envision your home with a different color? The butterflies, right? These energies we're talking about, the new moon, you can plant seeds about any aspect of your life. So the other energies that have come forward, because I'm always asking every time we go there, then I'm opening to a new level. Like I had 2 massive upgrades in being a Jaguar medicine woman, and I really feel weird, not really now, but I do normally, claiming those kinds of things. I don't like to be like, okay, right, whatever, I'm enlightened. Oh no, people who are enlightened don't say I'm enlightened. So it's a bit of a, I'm not saying that I am. I'm just saying, like, those things, like, I'm a blah 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 from this place and I have this power. And it's part of what we need to do, is accept who we are and find a way to be comfortable with it. And then it doesn't need to come from ego, but the ego aspect of that. However, they've insisted. So I'm like, okay. And so each of those open a portal. Every time you do anything, there's a medicine there for you. And I began to work with the grandmothers. They came through in the fall. They just taught the class that we just did. And they're really important right now in my life, in everyone's life. And so this is timeless, ageless wisdom. This is the sacred feminine that watches everything, has access to everything, and weaves and dream weaves eternal prosperity, right? Manifesting in the flow and timeless magic. So interestingly, I start working with this energy. I'm not totally aware yet that it's really going to be that big of a deal. And because it's 1, 2, 3 actually of 18 oracle cards that came through me before the retreat in December. So what happens is I contacted, Genevieve, I'm going to let you know about this too. We found an amazing healer to come. Massage therapist does not describe it. Brittany will tell you. Mayan man who comes with sound and water and stones and this, and is a chiropractor and everything. So we're going to have him come the day before to the condo, and if you want, you can have your own private session with him, which we will be doing. Everybody got one last time, and it was like, wow. So I meet him through a friend that I met before, who's turned into a shamanic type of healer, and tells me about him. I contact him. He says, I'm coming. I'm having my friends bring me. Could you meet me at the car? I want to introduce you to them. I meet his friends. The man does temescals, which are like sweat lodges. And she is a healer. She's not old, but she's a healer who is being trained and is still being trained by a local abuela in the grandmother tradition, the Mayan grandmother tradition. I've never met anybody who said that. And now that grandmother energy is here. I immediately became very interested, clearly why they wanted me to meet her. they knew from their perspective there was a soul connection. And immediately I was like, oh, this is very interesting. So I began a conversation with my friend and many other people. And now I'm sourcing, I'm drawing into the vortex of my reality all of these different resources and people and new places we can go, and gong sound healing and rebirthing in caves with water, and new sacred feminine healing. So then the extra days are going to be a lot of that, and another temple, another pyramid, and some other things. So they're all coming together in a beautiful vortex. And this is not the topic, so we need to move on. Okay, I love you too. So Lenore, hi, Arizona, woo woo. Hi Lenore, I know so many people in Arizona. Meep, I love how you say that. I'm overjoyed for this. Yay, magical healer, masseuse man, very beautiful. Oh, you're gonna love that. Like I remember Brittany walked out of her room afterwards. So we had Chris and I on this side, and we just did one after the other in the same room, and then he goes to everybody's room privately. And she came out and she goes, I don't think that calling that a massage is even remotely accurate. I know, right? So all of these people, last March, I found the Cuenco healer. You know him with his beautiful Mayan daughter. So now we have the maiden energy coming in, and she's a powerful sound healer. She plays all these different instruments. They come and take us right out of our bodies and open portals in the condo that we do it in. And then there's another person that I just connected to that I may not be able to use this time. However, we really resonate, and there's a lot of really beautiful vibrational work that they do. So I like to gather, not just me. I'm a healer and a shaman and all this stuff, and I do my own thing for sure. However, I like to gather these other people who come into the vortex of our cocoon during the week. So, okay. Well, that was fun to talk about, and we're going to now. Ooh la la. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Donna. She's just letting me know that everything's good. I'm looking for the slides. The slides, it doesn't matter. More interesting techie stuff, but aren't we blessed to have all this technology that we can connect? So, all right. So we're going to dive deeper now into the spiritual weather. I'm going to give you a little bit more of the technicalities. Oh, I don't know why my slides start like way down here on 272, but let's take a peek real quick here since we were talking about the dolphins. So tomorrow we will do the meditation, and it is going to be with the Mayan magic and medicine. And I don't know how that's going to come through, but I just shared a little bit with you about it. I've lived here for 8 years now, and I feel incredibly blessed. I feel connected. I know of several past lives I have here as a Maya, and I know why I'm here now, that I am meant to not just reawaken this medicine within me and share it with you, but I am meant to connect the world to this energy in a spiritual way. So this is last year, one of our retreats, doing a third eye activation. And I'll just scroll through these so you can see all the kisses. And we do communication games. We're not going to do that. We play ball. Oh my gosh, do they love playing ball? They love playing ball. Throw it, throw it, throw it. We pat them and touch them. And we do our healing meditation, and this is so unique and so amazing and so powerful that we get an hour alone, just our group. Everything is just our group, and that's part of the power of these retreats. And we float around. We get you all comfy, and that's why we're like running into the walls. We don't care. And the dolphins are free to come around. There's no one there. There's no trainers. Nobody telling them what to do. And then we get to see the pictures later, and they're coming up to people. You'll hear them, you'll feel them. They do all kinds of healing work on us. It's really quite amazing. That's me. Look at that. And they're very aware of what they're doing right here. They're sending signals to all three of us. They're recalibrating us. They're doing it in different ways. They scan you. They use their echolocation, and they are vibrational masters. And I did so much healing work with them for several years where I went almost weekly to work with a paraplegic named Patty, who came every week to have a healing from the dolphins. And the shift is phenomenal. I mean, she couldn't move anything under her waist and barely use her arms. And now she swims in the water by herself. She can walk and stand in the water, and she's getting stronger. Just, I mean, all these changes. But it really enhanced my ability to see energies, and I do energy and healing work with you guys too. And it enhanced my ability. Here's Genevieve and her jaguar ceremony. And they're married now. It's so beautiful. And here is one of the temples we went to. This is the Jaguar Temple at the site for Ishel, our beautiful moon goddess. And we behind me is also the temple of Kukulkan. There's Deb, and here's our cave we go to for our rebirthing. And it was really amazing walking in. So, and these are some pictures of Greece. That was the Oracle Rock. And we will be going here in May. And both of these, and Avalon in the fall. Whatever else comes forward, these are, for me, major portals. That was an interesting picture to have on there, wasn't it? These are places where the energies call and offer not just past life memories or healings, miracles, openings to new realities, new partnerships, new energies that you can communicate with. You bring key codes to these places that you don't know are in you, that aren't awakened until you're there. All right, so it's really beautiful. Please come. And our prosperity magic class, there's our grandmother. And this is a show we did. So let's go ahead and scoot back all the way up to the top. Don't want to do that for too long. And here we are back where we are started. All right. So here we go. New moon, lunar, new year. So happy new moon, happy new year. It's time to plant seeds. And the lunar new year is the time to think about next year in the soft feminine energy of the divine moon, and let it illuminate you for the path that is rising within you. And I like to say a rising within you, unfolding from within you, that you're allowing to come up from within you, because we can't force this. We need to choose it. We need to choose it so that it comes up, and give it permission, even if it's full of fear, or it's been hiding, or we've never done this for so long since we were burned at the stake once or something. So we have Happy Chinese New Year on Saturday. And I told you we're going to have channeling from the dragon spirits and prosperity guides and all kinds of fun. It's just going to be fun. Not a lot of this kind of information, which is why I'm giving this to you first. So this is a very auspicious moment. And if you really understand the concept of auspicious, it's kind of like lucky, important, relevant, right? All of these things kind of merging together, and there's a blessing to it. There's a charm to this moment. There's a magic to this moment. There's also a power to this moment. So it's a prosperous year that you want to be able to live to the fullest and receive what's here for you. So today I'm going to share the energies that you're dealing with so you understand it, both now and for the next few months, and some of them for the year. And then tomorrow we'll do our meditation. And then on Saturday, we'll have our celebration, and we'll integrate everything that we're talking about today. So what higher spiritual truth have you come to now that Uranus is going direct and the reflection period is over? So this is one of the questions that is very important. One of our big energies that's happening right now is Uranus. We'll go into more. It's sudden change. And it's like everything else. I mentioned this in January because it was one of those planets starting to go to direct, right? Instead of in retrograde, which simply means energetically that we relate to it differently. It's wanting to be more reflective, review, to wait, to go back, to rest. Something's going on, but now everything's moving forward, okay? The transformation was supposed to allow you to feel more free in expressing your inner truth to yourself and to others. So now that Uranus is leaving you to be more authentic, to go into the cave of your wounds. This was all about Chiron. I think this was last week's show. Then that energy of the wounded healer, that you're becoming the healer who has healed yourself and re-accessed your power. And that's one of the changes. So if you use this energy of change up, if you use any of these energies we're talking, and you intentionally and consciously accept them and use them up by doing something yourself, maybe thinking about it, accepting it, doing a new meditation, joining a new class, signing up for the retreat, whatever it is, you're using that energy up so that you don't just get slammed, by a big storm of energy. Now, you can't predict where it's going to go, how it's going to change. You just want to be in the present moment, because then the doors open, the mentors are there, all the goodies are there, and you can see and choose what's optimal in that moment. Instead of falling and hitting your head and ending up in the hospital, you may still hit yourself, but you're going to fall forward and hit your elbow, just like my client who's learned to do that through our sessions. So forward movement. Okay, we did that. This is the class that's coming up. It's on the shop. I highly recommend you talk to me about it if you're questioning. This is a class that, boy, I've wanted to do this for a very long time in this format. All the things I've been teaching are in one way or another connecting you to your truth, to your inner voice, to your soul, to your blueprint, clearing and cleansing your body. Excuse me one moment. I need to give myself a break here. Oh. Oh. Sometimes. I don't know if I left or not. I have to mute myself. Give me a second. I had to find how to mute myself. So I'm going to go off camera for just a second so I can cough and drink, and you can look at the beauty and not at me, and I'll be back in one moment. Okay. Thank you for that. So, oh, that's a lot of stuff. So that happens when I do spiritual work, when I do classes and things like that, and often the energy comes up because I'm speaking a lot. So I appreciate you allowing that. And now let me go back to present. Maybe you weren't seeing my screen. Were you guys? You weren't. I just realized it's not here anymore. Where did it go? How about this? There's green. No. All right. Weirdly, they closed my slots. So, okay. So, like we were talking about, the energy of the new moon, things are in the dark. So you may have something like this where suddenly it disappeared and I can't find it and it's not there anymore. And now we will go back over here And okay, good. You didn't miss anything too major. Let me see here. Share the screen. Yes, I do. And yes, I want that. And here we go. So now we are here. So all the time I was talking about dolphins. Oh my God. You couldn't see me. So, okay. So we'll give you a small review here. Let me just see. Um, I think you can see it now. All right. So I'll just share this since I already talked about it. And here's some of our dolphin experiences. Communication, we do some divination rings, we play ball, all these wonderful beings. I love them so much. They're gonna be talking a lot soon. They're getting active. Here's the healing that I was explaining to you. Is how they're free to come around us. They come do amazing healing with us. It really is a very powerful, extremely unique experience. And I can promise you, these are extremely loved animals. And here's some of our jaguar ceremony. And now you can finally see some of this. There's our temple. I love the combination of getting to go to the ancient sites and into the nature and into the caves and into Gaia. And here's our cave and our rebirthing ceremony, our cacao goddess. Here's Greece, the beautiful energies. Maybe this will be something that you want to grow. You want to grow into this retreat. I hope so, because I can't tell you, both of these are so special. And there's really no words for what happens. I don't regret 1 second, 1 minute, one penny that I spent, and I didn't make it going last year like I did. I listened to Spirit, that crazy picture. This is a flea market. Wow. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I did everything talking to the ancients. Okay, good. Now we're going to just wish back up here. All right. Thanks for hanging there with my stuff. So you heard me say all this. I'm going to just give a moment for this slide to be on the screen since you were just hearing me say it. It's funny because I don't think you can see me on my other platform. You couldn't see me when this went live. So hopefully I'm not. Okay. So we were talking about the transformation of Uranus. And then, we got to here. So this is the Sacred Soul Powers class. Please come check it out. This is not like anything else you've ever done. This is not a how to get the Akashic records or how to have a past life regression. This is way beyond that, and this is real time for you. I want you to come away with I don't know how many will come through for you, 3 to maybe 7 specific lives or collectives of lives that have a common purpose. That purpose will definitely be connected to you through a wound, and it will definitely be connected to you through a power or many powers because they have wisdom, they have experience, they have knowledge, they have schooling. Could be as a priestess, could be as a kindergarten teacher. They have a life, and they have fears and wounds that are bound up and limiting, like you. And we're going to become unified. This is the time of the ninth wave of consciousness of unity. It's another beautiful Mayan wisdom that we're going to unlock. So one of the things we're doing this March is when we go to these sacred sites, part of our intention is going to be part of the activations I'm going to do with us to set our energies is going to be awakening that medicine, that wisdom in unlocking these in these sites in whatever way we're meant to. Okay. This is tomorrow and this is Saturday. And this is next week. Um, Aphrodite, Greek goddess of beauty and love, is going to come. That's also Venus. And many of our other sacred feminine guides are going to come in. And then we're finally going to have the beautiful and amazing Donna Stellhorn back. That I don't think is going to happen till the 20th or something, but she is the expert on Chinese astrology. So we will get a little bit of experience with our year getting going, and then she will come in and share. And next week, we're going to have sort of a part two to the the magic training we started the other day, which is free here. So make sure you check it out. And it's We were going to do past life readings, and what happened was I ended up doing an epic process, which is now the first process for the class. So make sure you do it. And everybody was like, wow. And it takes you in and gives you a small container, a short time, so to speak, not super short, but not like an hour, to go in, connect with the life in a sacred sphere, release the wounds, connect the powers, and come back into your day. So this is a tool to use. And next time we're going to go a little deeper into why past lives. That was also a past life training. What are they? Why are they important? How are we accessing them now? How can we communicate with them? What does it mean when we free them? Will we work together? Yes. Will we free more energy and power? Yes. Will we have more access to more parts of us? Yes. Okay, the list goes on, and I will do some past life readings. Okay, I promise. And then I'm very excited because Neil Gower of Portal to Ascension is going to come on, and we're going to talk about personal growth, healing, trauma. I don't know what particular perspective, but this is an amazing man who's built a huge spiritual community and is traveling around the world and really going deep. And so we're going to have an infinite conversation. Okay, so let's take a look. Here is your what you need to know from a logical perspective, while we're also speaking to that heart as well. So the cosmic medicine to prepare for New Year is tomorrow is New Moon, New Year, Saturday, the celebrated Chinese New Year of the Yang Wood or Green Wood Dragon. We're going to talk more about that later. However, Saturday, we're going to go into the energy. Now, Laura shared with you about Chiron last week, but on the 11th, the North Node, okay, we talked about this. This is the direction that we're going. This is your destiny. This is your life path, North Node, okay? South Node, where you came from. If the North Node changes, so does the South Node. They're always opposite each other, okay? This is in your cosmic makeup, personality, in your reality, in your planet, in your universe. You have, excuse me, you have your direction forward. And if it's in a particular house or has it aligned with certain planets and energies, it's going to have certain challenges and certain powers. So, what happens with Chiron is it's the wounded healer, it is the centaur. It is the centaur energy that taught Asclepios was his and he represents Chiron. That's interesting. It is the Greek god of healing, and we're going to go to at least three of these healing centers where originally they were spiritual healing, and they were precursors to the hospital. And we're going to work with his many daughters and his wife, who are the goddesses of the pillars of healing. So Chiron is the wounded, unwanted, unloved hero who embodied all that suffering, all that pain, all that separation until he realized that he was the one who needed to heal himself. And then he became empowered, and that's what they come for. Where are the wounds that you're not looking at? What could be healed and turned into a power? What a perfect opportunity. We're going to be starting the class a few days after the exact conjunction in Aries. So we talked about this quite a bit, I think, last week. And Aries is the first sign, and Aries is the headstrong sign, right? And it's a fire sign. So this is again more of that forward, powerful energy. Just look at how much energy is here. That's saying boom, boom, boom. Let's go forward. Okay. And so let's look at that. That means your life path, your destiny, is in exact conjunction with Aries. Look up the Aries energy and see how that will impact you in terms of conjunction. So this moment is when we experience the peak of this new growth. This moment, meaning these 3 days, the energy is always the most. Okay, so receive it as an infusion into your life body. Your life body is physical, mental, auric, emotional, spiritual, every level with you. Okay. In the new moon, we always think about the inner seeds we are planting, like a womb in the dark. This is the time to allow your deepest soul desire to be consciously chosen and nurtured by the dark moon energy. I say consciously chosen. Stop creating your future through your fear patterns, through your unconscious patterns, through not paying attention. It doesn't matter if you felt fear all day long. If you sit down before you go to bed and you unravel it and you release it, and you give yourself the opportunity to step out of that into a prosperous flow with a loving guide, with the sacred energies, with the grandmothers, whatever it is you love, with your dragon. Oh, the beautiful dragon, and and realign. Okay, if you get caught up and did it wrong, or I have regret, or I want, then you're just taking more time that you're not getting back into alignment, get back into a power state and out of a force state. Okay, the potential for this year and time. All energies are most potent on the first day they appear cosmically aligned. So tomorrow, new moon is peak. I try to do these shows before, sometimes on the moon or whatever, to give you a little head start to start to prepare because you definitely feel these energies at least 3 days before, and something like the dragon energy we've been feeling for a while now. Now, this week has so much power and potency that I highly recommend that you take a moment out of your ordinary life to notice it, to access it, to meditate, to speak to the energies, to align with them, so that they can have that you can have your most prosperous year yet. Everything is an energy that could be a medicine for you that could make you sick. It could push you too fast too far. It could awaken your kundalini. It could make you jump into the wrong partnership with a scam artist. I did that once. Um, there's all kinds of possibilities, and that same energy could direct you into taking a leap into the best thing that ever happened to you in your business, in your love life, and whatever. So that's what I really want you to pay attention all week, all weekend. And then, of course, the energy continues. So don't worry about it. um, you may experience miracles. And I don't use that word often because people get all wound up and things just appearing out of nowhere and them not having to do any of their own personal work and not having to have any spiritual maturity or any emotional mastery. And I don't believe that's possible. I think you will have blessings, you will have blessings, you will have openings, you will have magical moments regardless. And they might be when you're knocked unconscious, and they might be when you're a little child, and they might be when you're all alone, blissed out on the beach, and they might be when you're in the middle of an epic storm and you're full of fear, and they might be when you're consciously in a meditation saying, "This is the moment I want to talk to somebody now." It doesn't matter because the miracle is not something you can force, not something you can choose. You have to prepare every moment and every day of your life. Do the work. Face your fears, love yourself, receive the kindness that's everywhere every single day. I live a life that I couldn't have imagined in the past, or a life in the dark. How funny. All right, so you may experience miracles this year, and they can happen in any area in your body, in your mind, in your finances, in your relationships, even healings in your own life that you've given up on. Maybe pull everything out. Bring it up out of the dungeons, out of the disappointments, lay it out, dry it out, bring it into the sun. What does dragon want to do? Now we will begin to see a path to peace and prosperity, both within our own lives and in the world, in society, in the mindsets and priorities of the collective. It's not going to unfold the way we want. You can't control everyone. You're going to have to let go. You're going to have to loosen up, and you're going to have to make choices for you and live in your own reality. And then one day you'll realize, oh, I do create my reality. Look at me. I don't even know that was happening over there. It didn't bother me in the least, and didn't impact what I'm creating. So you will be more powerful to the world. So there's a direct square to Uranus, and change is happening. A square is like someone standing in your path saying no, or locking the door, or burning the building down. In some way, saying you can't do this the way you've done it before, and you're going to have to, no. You show up to your new apartment and the whole building's burned down, right? Or there's a bulldozer blocking you, or the road is blocked, or something happened and you've got to go a new direction. That's what's happening right now with the new moon energy. So we're in all the other energies we talked about. On top of it is this. Now we have to look at the energy of Uranus to see what is squaring us, what is standing in our way. Well, we talked about a little bit about that earlier. Uranus is change, sudden change. Now, also, we have Aquarius energies going on. We hear the age of Aquarius. We've been hearing it for quite a while. We've been going in and out of Aquarius and in and out of Aquarius, and we're in Aquarius, and then we'll go out. And then next year, we will go in and it'll last for a couple decades or something. So, the age of Aquarius, we're singing the age of Aquarius, dawning of a new day, a new spiritual awareness, a new love of humanity, a new caring for the planet, a new open-hearted place. Well, we have been waiting for this since Atlantis sunk or whatever form of the separation we had from our hearts and our power being allowed to be together. We were left with our hearts and our power was taken from us because we were not responsible with it and began to create fear, anger, pain, suffering. And we've lived in that. We've lived in that for a very long time. And I, for one, am not creating any more of it. I don't care what anybody else says. Might be realistic. It's going to happen. Not on my planet. Not on my planet. Not on my planet. Thank you. So I am all about change, and I can't control Uranus and how it's going to show up in my life any more than you can. However, you can have your intentions. You can do your energy work. You can do your prosperity weaving. You can align with energies that can easily help you, whisper to you, communicate to you, talk to you in your dreams, whatever way you are open to receiving guidance, please listen because you have an opportunity now to be guided by the forces of nature, by the elements and the elementals, by every aspect of Gaia. And when we go on these retreats and we go to these sacred places, these energies are so present in energies I've never heard of come forward. So we have this is happening. The moon is in Aquarius. Of course, she'll move out. She moves very quickly. However, Mercury is in Aquarius, and that's our messenger of the gods. So that means the communication you're going to be getting is going to be coming through the Aquarius voice. You want to look it up. I'm going to give you a little more, but Aquarius is both extremely independent and mental, brilliant, intelligent, innovative, creative. There's a lot of tech, a lot of that expansiveness and a lot of rules around the greater good. We should do this for everybody. So you shouldn't stop. At the same time, having also holding the other side of the paradigm that says independence, independence, independence. So independence, communication, Aquarius, communication. This is what's going to give you a little clue about what are some of the communications coming to you from your soul if they're coming through these ways. Pluto, the god of the underworld, the god of karma, the god of the life and death and the shadow world is not bad, is not evil, is not the devil. None of that. That's just somebody else's story. Let's just throw that out. There's none of that going on here. It is you going into your shadows, you going into your fears, you going into the nurturing womb, you going into the yin side of things. But there's an energy to it of fear. So this coming into independence and expansion is interesting. How is that energy of Aquarius going to be expanded or activated for you in that? Are you going to have more and more endings? Are you going to have more and more beginnings? Well, if we're in a creative year, we're in a growth year, those are going to work together complementary, aren't they? Um, Venus is going into Aquarius. These are dates that's happening. Mars is going to Aquarius. So, or did yesterday. So each of these have their energy. Venus, the goddess of love, Aphrodite, and she is the embodiment of sacred feminine from love, wishes, purity, that embodiment that would come up in the middle of the temple because the sacred feminine was holding this beautiful, sacred, inspiring space. And it's the energy of the muses. It's the energy of what you wish for. It's the energy of feeling fulfilled already. It is self-fulfillment, in my opinion, and it is pure divine love, accelerated healing, and unconditional love. So Venus is coming into Aquarius, and that love could come into your relationship with AI or your fear of it, your expansion of your mind and your body, or your fear of control, or your desire to control, or the calling of your spirit to express itself authentically. That could come through with Venus energy. Yeah. So I will be going to the Temple of Venus again. She's been calling, and I'm going to go sit with the grandmothers. That's where I sat with them first, and in the temple watching. Now, that means that 50% of our planets that we really pay attention will be in Aquarius. So that's a big difference. And that's like a gathering. So just keep aware that you don't know when it's going to show up. You're going to sense that this power could be out of reach. It's not in your control. And that could make you nervous. It could be restlessness, like a cat going, there's rumbling there, you know? So this is a time for preparation and getting ready. With energy doesn't mean that you have to do it in fear. You have to do it in love. You have to do it in peace. You need to be prepared to be able to move, maybe mentally, physically, emotionally. Be more flexible, be more receptive, be more mobile. and more discernment in your life because transits are gathering, the opportunities are coming, and you need to be ready for the optimal and let the rest go. It's not all ideal for you in this moment. Don't use the spiritual idea that everything showing up for you that's a possibility is clearly what your angel said you should do. It is not. You're expanding. We're in a prosperous year. The power is raising. You're more aware of everything. There's no way for you not to be. However, you don't really fully grasp your power in your senses. So you're going to be, and all of us are, going to see and perceive a lot of opportunities. And it's very important to have centeredness and presentness that you don't jump at all of them. They will begin to tangle you up when something maybe that was more ideal comes along. Each of them might take you somewhere, though, so just pay attention. So, this just gives you a reference because not planets being in Aquarius isn't all that unusual. Every year Venus is in Aquarius, every year Mercury is in Aquarius, and every 2 years Mars is in Aquarius. So those are energies that we're familiar, okay, with. Um, that is about the flexibility, the innovation, the movement, the change, the growing mind. So you just need to remember, I can do this. I know how to do this. Now, change can be scary, but change is for your benefit. And growth doesn't happen without change. You can't go from being a mom and pop shop where you work and do everything all day to a franchise like McDonald's by doing everything yourself, right? So Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for about 20 years. That's going to give us lots of time to see some of this happen at deeper levels, bigger parts of the government, bigger parts of our reality. That's what we're going into. That's what we're living in. And the dragon year is exploding us into this new paradigm. So watch the shifting energies in your life. Change is a big energy right now. Look at where things maybe feel like they're changing. Does it make you feel nervous? Are you meant to take a look at it? Should you embrace it? Or should you find a way of, oh, I need to shore this up and be strong that I don't start to change with that fear? Okay. So in your life, signs of what might be coming could be coming to you. Really get those intuitive skills out. What you need to pay attention to and choose change. Okay? Choose change. Don't rest. Now, don't force change. Choose change. Tiny step, maybe. Now, this change could be jobs, relationships, wanting more or less friends, more or less community, more or less time alone, that unique individuality we talked about, community, greater good of all. Those are interesting because they're both in Aquarius, but they seem like they're opposites. But this is part of your multidimensionality is you're able to hold two different paradigms. Tech versus nature. You're seeing a lot of people be anti-tech or afraid of AI, a lot of people jumping in, thinking it's God and putting all the money into it. And then people in between, like us, who are like, yeah, we've been, of course, using all kinds of computer programs for a long time now to help support making things easier. If it is helpful, it will be great. It will free us up. It will give us more time to be creative. Um, and how you relate to it, how you allow it to support you. We said, and to find the right balance. Some people are going all nature, some people are going all tech, and find the right balance for yourself. Now, Uranus, again, just reminding you, sudden change, awakening. And when it was in Taurus, 2026 until 2026, not 1026, we are not time traveling back in time. And change is, Taurus is about no change, comfort. And Uranus is about change and awakening and pushing and forcing and right turns and sudden change and disrupting and all that. And the new moon energy, we talked about that. The dragon energy is magical, it's big, it's prosperous, it's exciting. And we talked about that. So, the other things that are going to be things you want to pay attention to that may change are your mindset. You may naturally be changing. You may have more power choosing your new mindset. The work, the journaling that you do, maybe in a class with me, could take on huge proportions or open big doors. There's this possibility for the input being the same or even less, and the output being massive. Now, other change is the inner and outer space, right? Inner here, outer there, self perception, clarity about what you want, where you're going, separate from ego and aligned with your soul purpose. So it's going to be the key to harnessing the dragon, your energy and using it, dragon energy, and using it to grow your soul's path, reconnect to your soul's powers, and become more of who you came here to be. This is the year that you can begin to live the life your soul intended. So these are just a little bit more for you about Uranus. You can take a peek at this. There could be a new direction. It's awakening and evolutions. It's not an optional thing. It's like you have to evolve, right? You have to grow. You have to stop. You have to shed. You can no longer be bursting. You have to shed that skin. You have to shed that identity. Independence, revolutionary, freedom, change, sudden change, upset, disruption, excitability, metamorphosis, a right turn, and here's some other changes you want to consider. Economic disruption. Don't see any economic disruption in your own life or in the public life as bad. Don't react that way. Change your reaction to the shift in the flow of energy because this disruption could be a better distribution of energy, more sharing of the wealth, more equity of power instead of all of this manipulation of voting areas and everything else to keep certain few people in charge and owning everything. We need to have a redistribution of that. And when we go, oh, fear, 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 don't take my stuff, make everybody else change, but I'm not going to, it could be painful. So, personally, globally, in distribution and access, of course, abundance, the AI, the tech is both more and more stressful because of the security and the hackers and people, all these people who are hacking their heads off worse than ever before. And it's going to get worse. Unfortunately, they haven't quite figured out that if they put the energy they're putting into hacking people into something that could grow and bloom and blossom and support the world, they'd become a bazillionaire overnight and be happy. But they haven't quite figured that out yet. So you're going to see people having an economic disruption one way or the other, somewhere in between, how you react to it, what you think it means. It's very important. There's changing values. You're going to notice that our values are as a community, as a culture, as a country, as a globe, are changing very quickly. And there's a there's a quickening in the representation, and there's still also that lack of really true communication. Most of the bullshit news is just bullshit. It's written, it's scripted, it's angled, it's whatever. And so, I want to know the scores, whatever, fine, but take the rest of it. An accelerated shift and awakening higher levels of consciousness. We're going to have sudden windfalls, sudden losses. You might see that in the stock market. You might see that in your own life. You might see that in your kid's baseball game. This is an energy. Okay, so you might see that in your emotions. Woo, wee, woo, yay. Losses are always a freedom and a liberty, being liberated in any area, emotional, relational, financial, career, and health. Changing the way you make a living. This could be a new job, a new business, a new schedule, a new location. I want to work from home. I want to be mobile. I want to be a digital nomad. I want to work from Portugal. I don't want to work for anyone else anymore. I want to open a florist. I don't know. And the biggest thing here is don't label yourself and open that there could be many, many streams of income and prosperity that there are already there for you. And that we've been trained that you can only make money in one way. If someone else tells you this is what you're worth and this is what you show up and this is what you do and this is what you get and that's what you don't get. I mean, if you grew up in France, you would start with like 4 to 6 weeks of vacation in your very first job. And in America, you will never get to that unless you are some high-end person. So the values are very different, and the way of making living is exponentially opened up, and you can get creative about the new way that you could be welcoming, both sharing your value and welcoming the prosperity that comes from you sharing that value. Releasing material possessions, don't freak out. You don't have to get rid of everything. But in order to not suffer, to not be burdened by it, to not think it's the thing that will make you happy, right? To be free, letting the changes bring you what you most require, stop being attached to stuff. Change is constant, and like the ocean, the minute you turn your back on it, it's going to knock it out, drag you under. So change, please stay aware that it's always guidance. It's always an opportunity. However, be willing to change, be looking for the change to soften the way it's going to show up for you, okay? And not necessarily always your best opportunity is going to show up. So again, be discerning, take your time, don't be forced, pressured by anyone else or their agenda or their urgency or their desperation or their fears to make a decision about anything. it will be filled with the power of the dragon, and then you'll be off and running towards something that is not filled with what you want. So be very careful if you're taking a new job right now. Wait for the right one. It's there. But if you don't wait for it, if you don't hold out for it, if you don't visualize it, you will not intersect with it. Okay. In the multiverse. Not necessarily. Okay, this year's going to be about so many opportunities your head will spin. The more centered and more clear you are, the more support you have in your community. Like I'm joining my mastermind. I am now inviting my current private clients and my current class clients to the prosperity mastermind. And then when I see what the reaction is and what kind of a group wants to form, I will share that out. But in the meantime, if you are interested in a 6 month prosperity magic manifesting mastermind that you would like to move forward with a mentor, with a group, with support, healing, my abilities to see the spiritual, psychic, and blocks and everything, as well as all the different ways of mastering your mind, mastering your emotions, relationships, building business, prosperity, money. I've got all of that will be there. Whatever you need, that's what we work with. So the more clarity you have on your inner value, and you're going to be able to bring yourself back to center so you don't get distracted into everybody else's change story, is this great year of potential. So I will see you tomorrow for the new moon Mayan meditation and Saturday for our celebration. Yay! All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And I hope that that all came true. Thank you for being here when I couldn't share my screen and when I had to cough. Uh, did you get to see the photos? I hope you got to see the photos, Jillian. You still can't see the slides. No, I know. You must have seen the slides by now. Lisa said, "What's my human design?" I know I'm a projector, honey. I am the psychic queen of the universe. Yeah, I'm a projector. I'm one of the new, it's a new aura, aura, aura. Um, on the planet, and it's all about being able to see. I see directly through people. I see through the veil. I see everything. And my life has been about going through and literally experiencing all the ups, all the downs, all the pains, and being the wise teacher on the hill that you come to, who has that wisdom because I've done it, and and then I can see through for that. So um, yeah, drawing in the right healers at the right time reminds me of that. I manifest very differently, and I would love to be able to like know everything in advance and have this whole thing. And I used to do it that way. I used to force whatever it was. I'm going to create it. I'm going to think it. I'm going to decide what it is. And of course, I was in flow with my spirit. However, now sometimes it's a little difficult for me to really define, like, come to this class, and this is what we're going to do, and this process is going to happen because inevitably they change it. We show up in the moment, and things have already shifted, or there's something better or something different, or we get that or whatever. So being in the moment, the closer I get to the experience, the more that vortex starts to happen. And then like the last, last year we did 3 retreats here in the Mayan land, that we had that I was in process with these people and finding new people. We never got to work with this lady who did these sound healing gongs, crystal bowls, and stuff while you floated in the ocean, which was very cool, but it just fell apart. The first time we ended up in an indoor gong crystal bath from her, which was lovely. And then the second time, it just not working out. So, but that's okay. So the idea was cool, and now I found somebody who does it in the caves, and then I found new caves that we can go to in New Cenote. So who knows what will stir forward from here. All right, my loves, I will see you tomorrow. Namaste. Happy, happy new moon. Yes, projector. Well, we are weird, and one of the cool things is, I mean, one of the weird things is that we're supposed to wait to be seen to be recognized. So it makes it very difficult to run a business. However, I'm very fond. A lot of the human complex as it is can be very, very revealing. You get the right bit of information about who you are. The emotional authority. I'm an emotional authority. Really things for me. I had already been taking on a lot of those, but last year when Greece came up and said, "Come, come," I had to go through an emotional jungle of decisions and personal turmoil and all kinds of stuff. And I decided to 100% respect my emotional authority and went, it's 1333 right now, so I'm going to end the stream. I love that.